welcome to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth.
I am Helen.
We are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow, and we were just outside taking photos of Helen's finished object that she's going to show in just a minute, and it's cold.
Yes.
It's very cold.
It was very nice yesterday. It was like 50 degrees. It's not 50 degrees today.
Not so much. So we have our hot cups of tea. Look, we're matching cups. Mine is Red Zinger by Celestial Seasonings. It really is one of my favorite teas of all time.
We're both with our go-to teas because I'm doing buttermint.
I love this tea so much. It's so good. So yes, it is warming me from the inside out because it was chilly out there.
Also, we had an issue yesterday, so downstairs of the castle has not quite come back to temperature yet. We had a problem with the furnace around 6 o'clock last night. We have a very, very good service company, which we found out last night because he was there within an hour. And he fixed everything last night, so...
Alan heard sounds that sounded like water running through the heating system, which evidently is not good. So we went downstairs to see what it was, see if anything was going on in the basement, and completely flooded.
I was going to say, there's water all over the basement floor, which is, generally your first sign that things are not kosher.
There's probably about 2 inches of water on the floor down there. So Helen waded through over to the boiler, and there's just water pouring out.
Out of one of the pipes, just like it's a faucet.
Yeah.
So, called the company. They sent someone out. Our pressure reducing valve was broken, which then blew out a tank, and then another valve in the end. So we had 3 things that we had to replace, but he had them all with him. He got them done. He was out of here by 9 o'clock with the heat going. So just, we lost temperature down here. And once we lose the temperature down here, it's going to take a couple days to get it back up to temperature. So
it is slowly but surely climbing its way back up. However,
it's chilly.
It's a little bit chilly, but we've got heaters. So we're okay.
Oh, yeah.
We are prepared.
He said something to me. He's like, the heat's not going to work, so it's going to be a little chilly in the house. I'm like, yeah, we're used to that.
That is apropos. No. Apropos?
Apropos?
Apropos? Standard quo?
Status quo?
Status quo. That is status quo. It'll come to me sooner or later. Yeah.
I'm like,
fun times.
We live with chili, so we are prepared.
Yeah. Break out the woolens, layers, and the heaters.
Yeah.
We have blankets that are big enough that we can just wrap around ourselves and hunker down.
And knock on wood, we found it quickly enough, and he got him out here so that it wasn't terrible.
Wasn't very
also,
bad.
As I said, it was 50 degrees yesterday, so that the temperature was going down below freezing, but the house was relatively warm to start with.
It was not it
could have been much worse.
Yeah, as emergencies go, this was not a very bad one.
Right.
Okay, so
and it was handled very stoically by
all concerned.
Yes.
Okay, so we have some knitting updates on sweaters. Helen has a project that she has finished. I have a project that I am starting that is hand sewing. So both of those were hand sewing things. We've started doing a little bit of work outdoors, so I get to open one of my last things from Helen's birthday present to me that's part of working outside. So she had set aside 3 different little packages for me for working outside, and I get to open my last one for that.
Yeah, the sun came out over the weekend, so, beginning of February, let's go clear the yard.
Because you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for plants. I'm ready for smell of good earth. I'm ready for all of it. So one thing we can do is clear fallen branches. We have areas in the yard that have not been touched in, I'm going to say decades, so that we can start clearing debris and stuff like that from there.
And there are no plants that we're worried about, unearthing their warmth of leaves or anything like that. So we can just start clearing those. And it's areas where we're concerned about Hugo being back there without us knowing. So clearing it lets him be back there.
Yeah.
So
he has been having a lovely couple of days snuffling around the entire yard, seeing everything. And when we have a lane that bisects the block, and people walk up and down it. It's a public lane. And when people walk their dogs up, he just goes and runs the entire length of the yard and then he has to come show us that he's got friends on the other side of the fence. And he's racing around the yard. It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
So
Very good for him.
So I have my last package for working outside. It looks like it's a Post-it note. Oh, it's a beautiful Post-it note. Okay, so it's a forest, a misty forest.
It's the same one who did the 7-day calendar.
Oh, okay. This is just, this is beautiful. And we were just trying to decide, does it go like this? Does it go like this? It can go any way we want it to. And, oh no, I don't have the right cup. I have a sticker for my cup that says, let the forest take you in, which this would be perfect for. Oh, that is really, really beautiful. I'm going to have to use this for like notes in my journal or something like that so that I don't waste
that's what
it.
I thought.
We will put it so we both can use it. That is gorgeous. Thank you very, very much. All right. What would you like to start with?
Do my quilt.
Okay.
So last week we showed you that we had quilted the 2 quilts. So over the weekend I sewed on the binding for both of them so that I could hand stitch the binding to the back. And I got my From the Heart completely done. It's the binding stitched on, it went through the wash, and it's fantastic. And I'm so excited. I made it about a year ago, the top, so that it's completely done and we're getting stuff done.
So you machine stitched on the front,
and then I hand stitched to the
folded
back.
it over and hand stitched
to the back.
the binding to the back.
It's a longer process than machine stitching, but I love the look of it on the front of the quilt. So
do you get the piece that comes from doing the hand stitching type of thing? You do.
I really enjoy it.
Okay.
Especially yesterday. Yesterday was like a planning day for us, so we were sitting around just having like a company meeting.
It was a day-long staff meeting, is what it was.
And I was stitching on it while we were talking, and it allows me to talk and pay attention and everything like that, but also getting it done and giving me something to do with my hands. And
luckily, Helen works for a company that allows her to do this.
Right, that understands these things.
Some people that are not even allowed to knit in their staff meetings, which is just ridiculous. Would you like to put a picture in here of
the staff meeting?
The quilt?
Of the quilt. Okay, so we have a video of me holding the quilt up. So we will put that here with the picture.
And we're back. Okay. It is such a beautiful quilt.
It is.
It's a perfect lap blanket. It's also the perfect quilt to go over a bed. It's not going to be one that takes up the entire bed, but it takes up the top of your queen size bed.
It will decorate the top of the bed.
And it will cover a twin very nicely.
Yeah.
It just won't be long enough to be like the only quilt on it.
Yeah, it's not a wrap yourself up and wander around the castle kind of quilt, but
it's perfect for laps or that kind of thing. So it's so pretty.
It is. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And it's done.
Yes.
And really that is
finished.
The most important thing. So today I will start hand stitching on the Adelaide one, and hopefully I'll have that for next week.
Okay.
So and we have 4 more that need to be backed, basted, and quilted. Continue the process of getting things done.
Right. So while Helen is finishing things up, I'm starting new things because that's what I do.
Because that's what she's good at.
I started a project that I had seen on Pinterest and I fell in love with it. I thought it was such a pretty thing to do for Valentine's Day. So basically what you do is you take a piece of fabric. I put interfacing on the back of it to give it a little bit of extra strength. And then
This is linen that you're using.
Yeah, I'm using linen. And then I sewed buttons all over the front. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all the spaces with beads. I can't fit the beads, the spaces that are too small even for beads, then I'm going to fill those in with colorful stitching. So when I'm done, this entire thing will be done. Will be covered in color.
And then what is the ultimate finish?
I am going to leave it in the hoop. I'm going to trim this down and back it and then leave it in the hoop, and I'm going to hang it on the wall just like that.
Perfect. Now, are you going to put anything outside of the heart, or are you just going to leave it?
I think I'm just going to leave it. I have to see what it is when I'm done, but I think for this I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to take anything away from
the heart.
The heart. That's the whole point of it. So I think that'll be, you know, the whole thing will be that I will leave it.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It really is. It's so pretty. I have realized that we don't have any green buttons. We have orange, yellow, red, blues, and purples, but we do not have any greens. So I have green beads. So I'm going to put in lots of green beads. Okay. I was playing around with just doing red and pink for Valentine's Day.
I just noticed that you have a heart.
I do. I have one heart button. Right here. I was playing around with the idea of just doing pink and red for Valentine's Day, but then I thought, no, you know what? This way it can be up all year round. Just because I did it in February doesn't mean. And it's the rainbow colors. That's my start. By next week I should be done. This is the first day I traced it and did the outline stitch. Okay. I don't know the names of it. Chain stitch all the way around and then started the buttons. And then yesterday I added a bunch more buttons during our staff meeting. But I was taking a lot of notes, so I didn't sew as much as Helen. But
so what do you think what kind of stitches are you gonna do? Are you just gonna look them up like French knots or?
I think it's going to depend on what kind of space there is.
Okay.
Because I may practice the satin stitch, which is filling in.
Okay.
You know, with colors. But again, it's going to 100% depend on what kind of space there is. Because if you're in. Yeah. Well, if there's not a lot of space, then there's not a lot of decorative stitching. I would much prefer it be as three-dimensional as possible with the beads and the buttons and things like that. I do have one tiny bead over here that I sewed on first, but I'm going to fill in the spaces. And I have glass beads and all different sizes. Some are in the shape of bumblebees, some are in the shape of flowers. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to be using. It's just whatever fits. But I do have the number 14, which I could put here for Valentine's Day. I thought it was very fitting that I grabbed a handful of beads and the number 14 was one of them.
I think it wants to be in there.
I think, yeah, but it's just, then does that make this Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
You know, if I don't put the 14 in,
I mean, it could be Valentine's Day and, you know,
you put it away.
Good to have stuff that is just for Valentine's Day because we do not have it.
I don't think we have anything.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. However, that's where it is so far.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to our sweaters, I meant to say this at the beginning. I did want to say thank you so much to everybody who reached out to us about Drusilla and your kind thoughts and statements and everything. It was really, really very, very sweet. Thank you very much. I'm sorry we are not quite able to answer them yet, but please know that we've read them and we do appreciate them so much. Yeah. So thank you. Okay.
Hugo's left the building because he does not like the topic of discussion. So, all right, sweater progress.
Yes, let's do sweaters. Okay, you want to go first or shall I?
I can go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I started a new sweater. Mary Beth is finishing an existing sweater. My sweater is the Fab Brioche cardigan, which is a bulky weight. And last week when I showed it, I think I was just finishing up the ribbing. And it's the Italian bind off that she has you do, which I had never done before. So the ribbing is done and bound off. And I really, really like the look of the Italian bind off. It's very similar to the Kitchener stitch if you're doing that. And since you don't have parallel stitches to work with, like you do when you're closing up your toes of your socks, what you do is you work on the front stitch and the back stitch, and you do like the same motion of the Kitchener stitch. So there, you're sewing the bind off as opposed to knitting the bind off. So that is and I went with greenback books as the color because I'm not completely sure I'm going to have enough of the main color to do the whole sweater. So I decided to use a contrast color for the ribbing and the button band. So I also have the button band on.
It's looking very kimono-ish right now, but
very penguino. But the button band, I am learning so much with this sweater. So the button band, you pick up all the stitches going around, and then you cut your yarn once you've picked up all the stitches, and then you go back and you cast on new stitches using the Italian cast on, which I've never done that before. I learned how to do that. That's very similar to the long tail cast on, but there are some variations to it. And then you do a double knit button band. So this is double the thickness. It's a nice thick button band. So
it's so squishy. This sweater is just so squishy overall. It's just, oh my God, it's glorious.
So I finished, and then when you get all the way around, you do the Italian bind off again on the button band. And then I have picked up my first sleeve, and I'm working my sleeve. And the sleeve is a balloon sleeve. So I just go straight down, no decreases or anything like that. And then I do some
manic decreasing.
I was going to say some massive decreasing at the end, just before the ribbing. So I'm just going round and round on my sleeve in brioche.
Cool.
Yeah. So I am.
Oh, it's the picked up stitch. It looked like there was a hole.
Oh, it's
the picked up stitch.
It's because I picked it up wrong. Thanks for pointing that out for me. Okay. But yeah, I love this sweater.
Oh my God, it is gorgeous.
I love knitting this sweater. I've learned so much knitting it. It's going to be a great finished product. I'm knitting it in, the color is Down a Narrow Path. It's an old Halloween color of ours. And using DK held double to get the bulky weight, I am starting skeins 7 and 8 for this sleeve.
Okay.
And I had 10 skeins. So essentially, if I were using bulky, I'd be on skein 4.
Okay.
But then I went through probably about half, a little more than half on the ribbing. Sorry, the ribbing and the button band.
Okay.
I mean, this button band. That's a lot of yarn.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
Very excited.
And you're going to use the greenback books on the
cuffs.
The cuffs for your sleeves as well. It's gorgeous. It really is. It's squishy and lovely and gorgeous.
So we have about a week and a half left, because Thursday is going to be 3 weeks.
Right.
To get 2 sleeves done.
Piece of cake.
I should be able to do that.
All right.
Considering in 2 weeks I knit the entire body, the ribbing and the button band.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 sleeves really. Especially since they're drop sleeves, because the shoulder is so loopy.
I am working on the honey vodka lemonade sweater by Baby Cocktails, and I had cast off one side of a split hem and was about halfway through casting off the second side the last time we did this. So this is where I am. It's completely cast off, and I am probably 2/3 of the way down my first sleeve.
Cool.
This has regular decreases. I thought one skein of yarn for a sleeve, piece of cake.
No? Oh.
That's how much I have left.
Do you have enough yarn?
But you know what I think I did? I think I may have taken one of my previously started ones
Oh, okay.
by mistake instead of taking a full one.
Oh, so you have plenty in there.
I
to
have
finish.
tons
Oh, okay.
in there. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm not alternating skeins because, I thought I was going to have an entire one. So I think very soon now I'm going to start alternating skeins, and I'll alternate for like 3 rows and then go into the other skein.
Okay.
And whatever is left will be, I'll just clip it and hold on to it.
Yeah.
Because you have a little bit left of your sweater. You were just holding it up. You have that little tiny piece left. If you don't use that, and I take that and this, we'll put it together in like a blanket.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Have a DK blanket going. That's just the little remains of things. So I am doing mine in Whimsical Gourds from our Witches Library collection. And so I am about 2/3 of the way down this sleeve. Maybe even 3/4.
Yeah.
I have to see. And then I have one more sleeve to do, and I will be finished.
We are just finishing.
Yeah. I'm going to be so excited when
Yeah.
this is done, because this was a big project. So, and then we have new projects to pick up
Yes.
and start, because there are plans.
And with the little bits of yarn, Candace on our Crafting with the Toads Facebook group, she put up her Battenberg, but then she's also working on a snowflake
Yeah.
blanket from Sandra Pearl, Sandra Cherry Heart, which is really cool. I'm like, my next blanket maybe.
Oh, if you want to do that, we'll put them aside for that.
it's
I was
like
thinking of
perfect
doing
little-
like stripey one or something like that. But yeah, no, definitely. If you wanted to do that, that's fine.
Have to get through this and then the other projects before I start thinking about a blanket.
Well, I was just thinking that with this kind of thing, if you have the little pieces, then just when you're done, it's kind of like what I'm doing with my crochets. When you're
just put
done,
them in.
you just put them in, and then you're finished, and you don't worry about it, but you know that it's in.
Yeah, I was also thinking of something similar to that, doing like a corner to corner crochet one.
Okay.
Because to me, it's very daunting to do the foundation row on a crochet.
Okay.
Not daunting. I hate doing it.
Right.
So that if I do corner to corner, then I don't have to do the foundation.
Okay.
So I'm contemplating that. We shall see. I have lots of contemplations.
I would then decide how thick you want each row of color to be.
No, because I'm thinking it would be like this.
Scrappy.
Just totally scrappy. Whatever is left goes in.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Okay. Because that's the one thing I don't like about my habitation throw. And this is just me.
Yeah.
But I did full 20-gram mini skeins. And the first part of the corner, that first color is like that thick. And then by the time you get to the middle, the colors are this thick.
Because
And
you've got
I
so
don't
much more.
like
Yeah.
the difference in it as much. But again, that's just me.
Yeah.
I have a certain part of my brain that likes things to be even.
I think what I would do, no matter what I did, whether I did equal amounts or scrappy, totally scrappy, I would have a foundation color that I would put in between.
Okay.
Because I love scrappy blankets, whether they're patchwork quilts or whatever, but then I do love a little bit of a border in between.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good.
Like the Battenberg, the great thing about the Battenberg is you have all of your
Beautiful colors.
but that gray or whatever your foundation color is separates them.
Yeah.
So that it's not just a
grounds
mishmash.
Everything and then lets them shine because they're not fighting against each
Right.
other. Yeah, I like that idea. So you start with it. And you could always do it that you've got Well, no, that takes away from it. Never mind. I was going to say, you could always do that. You say, okay, I'm going to do 3 rows of each color and then put the foundation color in, 3 rows of the color and the foundation
Right.
color. But then you're still stuck with whatever is left.
Yeah, it's figuring out how to use up
Yeah.
the leftovers. So,
Okay. We will ponder. So I think that is just about it. The only other thing I can think of is we started watching Monarch of the Glen with my mom, and we are all 3 enjoying it quite a lot.
Yes.
So that's a lot of fun.
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it's been very quiet here, other than, the boiler. But it's been a quiet weekend, which is nice.
Yes. Yeah. We got
Okay.
stuff done.
We did.
We're getting stuff done. So,
Yes, that's very good. Very, very good. And we will have updates on other things as we do them.
yeah.
Okay, so we hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week.
Go forth and create.
And we will see you on Friday for our live podcast. We are here live almost every Friday at noon Central Eastern time. What am I doing? Noon Eastern time. It's the same time every week, Mary Beth. Come on.
We have never once done anything other than Eastern time.
I know. I don't even know how to. I do know how. It's just, I don't. I do Eastern time. Anyway, noon Eastern time. It is our live one where we get to chat with you. So if you would like to come and join us, please do. I think we are going to try and put together the boys' Valentine's Day presents so that you can see what we were talking about on our
Right.
last one.
See the finished product and see if it works.
Right.
So,
Because we have 3 of them to put together, which
and they have to get in the
reminds
mail.
me, I need to put in the
They have to replace the candy.
yes, we broke into one of the bags of candy, and now I have to replace the Kit Kats because we feel about Kit Kats just about the way the boys
And
do.
you know what? When your boiler goes out, you need a Kit Kat.
So I have to replace the bag of Kit Kats. I'm on my way to the supermarket. So Helen is going to edit this, and I am going to go shopping.
Right.
All right, so have a wonderful week. We'll see you on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.